everyone. Welcome to the webinar series. Thank you for joining us and spending this time with us, learning a little bit more about affiliate marketing as a channel and how you can unlock growth in Q4 and beyond. My name is Courtney Addy. Like many of you, I've spent the majority of my career on the brand side, primarily actually in B2B marketing. So for me, I'm just excited and have been learning quite a bit about the affiliate channel over the last year here at Within, and I'm really excited to spend some more time unpacking it further, demystifying it, debunking some common myths and challenges that we hear about the channel when we're talking with our clients. But without no further ado, I'd like to go ahead and welcome our panelists to the session today. Please help me in joining them. We'll do a brief introduction. So Amanda, I'm going to turn it over to you. If you'd like to introduce yourself and a little bit about your brand, we'll get started.
Hi, everyone. Excited to be here today. Amanda Nelson, VP of E-commerce at Corkcicle. I've been with the brand for about 2.5 years. And before that was at Nike a number of years, and then Orchard Brands before that, and ran affiliates at both places and was able to bring affiliates to Corkcicle. Corkcicle is primarily a hydration and cooler company. And so excited to be here today and share some thoughts.
Thanks, Amanda. Hi, Kate Miller here at Within. I lead up the affiliate channel here at Within. I'm excited to really talk to you all today, really hear from the advertisers aspect and how affiliate affects their business, their overall business, and kind of dive into that more. A little bit about my background. I started in the affiliate channel at the networks and then moved.com as they were building out their specialty retail side of their business, and help grow that in affiliate and TM Plus and programmatic, etc. And then moved and launched coupons.cnn and Business Insider, which is called GSG, into the US market. And excited to be here at Within talking to you all. I'm going to send it over to Danny.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Excited to be here today. I'm Danny Ori. I lead digital marketing at Hickory Farms. I've got about 15 years of experience in the digital marketing area, mostly focused on your core paid channels with paid search, paid social, affiliate, SEO, programmatic display, and video. I've spent my time mostly on the brand and the client side. I worked at Digitas for a couple of years as well, leading the paid search team on the Sprint account back then. And right now I lead all of the digital marketing at Hickory Farms, as I said. And, Hickory Farms, it's a really exciting time to be at this company. We are all about bringing people together through effortless gifting. We've got a wide selection of curated gourmet food gifts, with a big focus on wine. So keep that in mind as the holidays coming up. We also recently acquired Wicked Good Cupcakes. They were featured on Shark Tank a few years back, for those of you that watched that show. And Kevin O'Leary, also known as Mr. Wonderful, is an investor in them. So we're currently integrating them into our plan. So yeah, again, excited to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. Pass it out to Josh.
Hey, thanks, Danny. My name is Joshua Rockoff. I'm excited to be here as well. I am currently general manager of Zimba Whitening, an advisor to SA Company. Zimba Whitening is exactly what you can imagine it is. We sell teeth whitening strips. We are one of the top 3 teeth whitening products on Amazon. So it was really exciting news there. We also sell through a lot of wholesale channels. And what we do is we sell both teeth whitening strips, environmentally sensitive toothbrushes. We sell a cornstarch-based Phillips head toothbrush head, which is an awesome product, and we encourage everybody, if you want to try samples, we might be able to set you up. SA Company is our parent company. It's a portfolio company of a private equity firm by the name of TZP. And the SA Company sells outdoor gear, fishing gear, a lot of apparel, sweatshirts, hats, beanies, as well as face masks. My history, I've been in the industry for 27 years. Been part of a number of different companies, both in my own startups as well as others. Most notably, in the last couple of years, I was Chief Digital and Information Officer of Destination Maternity and BCBG, where we successfully relaunched that business under marquee brands. And earlier this year, I was the same role at Diane von Furstenberg. Excited to be here and looking forward to a lively conversation with both Kate and Danny and Amanda.
Great. Thank you all. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off the first part of debunking misconceptions about the affiliate marketing channel. So Kate, I know we're going to talk about a bunch of them today, but the one thing that I continue to hear over and over again, we touched on a little bit when talking to brands and either trying to convince them or help them convince their internal stakeholders about the value and that of affiliate programs, and that they can actually be incremental, and that it's likely that not 100% of the sales at the end of the day would have happened anyways. How do you approach this conversation, Kate?
Definitely. It really goes down to the basics, that an affiliate program is only as good as the publishers that you have in it and the partnerships and how well managed that program is. And so a well-managed program, you understand the different levers that you can pull with those publishers, the partnerships that you can have, and how to make sure that that's efficient and effective. Danny, I'm going to pivot to you first. And, how does incrementality play an important role at your program at Hickory Farms?
It definitely plays a role. And the way we look at the affiliate channel is, on a weekly basis, the Within team, sends us an email, and we review, the percentage of new versus returning customers that come from this channel. And that's important to us because, as we talked about, debunking myths and whatnot, affiliate is very incremental. In my opinion, it's a misconception that it's not. Furthermore, there's a wide set of consumers out there that are always looking for a deal. And there are people that simply won't buy if there's not some sort of a deal. And the deal doesn't necessarily always have to be a promotion. It could be cashback. And so being present there is important, even though it is last touch. And again, the misconception is you're just giving money away. That couldn't be further from the truth. I understand it, though. We've had those conversations many times internally. But it's more so about how you manage the channel and having a good understanding overall what your what your consumer base looks like. And last thing I did want to say too, looking at your LTV is really important, and that's understanding a little bit more of your customer set there. And you can find out that just because the customer is a deal seeker, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be a good customer and that they're not going to be valuable. So that's another angle that I would encourage other companies to take a look at as well.
And just to clarify for people that maybe not know about Hickory Farms and your brand specifically and kind of the offers that you run, can you clarify that you're not constantly running discounting promotions, that's not something that's common in your brand?
Correct. We are definitely not a discount-focused company. We're more of a premium brand in the marketplace. Although we do have promotions, during key parts of the season. Right. We're very holiday-centric and focused, as many of you know, and those that don't probably are familiar with Hickory Farms and think, oh yeah, Christmas. Well, we've expanded a lot beyond that. But for the most part, Kate, I'd venture so far to say that about 85 to 90% of the time, we're not running a promotion.
Exactly.
You can be very effective, right? You could be really effective on the affiliate channel just with, a basic cashback, something simple, just as 1%. Because like I said, people want that. It's low hanging fruit, easy to get a win and to get a, conversion there.
Awesome. Thanks. And Amanda, I'm going to pass it up to you. I think, internally, I think you've had a lot of conversations on the incrementality and the value of affiliate. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so similar to Danny, we're seeing a high percentage of new to file customers come through affiliate. We just really launched our affiliate this January with Within. Before we had a program, but it was very small and we didn't have resources against it. Like Kate said, like now we have dedicated resources that are managing the program effectively. And we are also seeing that the LTV of this customer that we acquire on affiliates is about the same as paid search, which is one of our higher LTV channels. So we're really happy with where the program is going.
That's awesome. Really great. Courtney, I'm going to pass it back to you for misconception number 2.
Yeah, and we'll let Josh get in as well. This next one we talked about a little bit, this whole entire myth around the affiliate program is super promotional. And one of the reasons why I love the channel so much as you can really sort of balance the performance and the return across. And it's a channel that hits the entire full funnel journey, but it's not necessarily only coupon based, but that's one of the things that we encounter quite a lot. Kate, how would you talk about that?
Definitely. Yeah. So affiliate marketing, the channel, it is a last click attribution model, and it is driven coupon publish, and that's what is driven the coupon publisher business model. And what's really important to know, I think, is that the only way the publisher is making money in this channel is by tracking that click to a conversion. And so activating coupons and cashback is the most successful way to get those conversions, but that doesn't mean it's the only way. And so I think knowing that is so important, but it's also, having those partners like Honey and Retail Me Not and Carterra, is they should be in your program to have an effective program. They drive a mass amount of traffic, a mass amount of awareness, and you don't necessarily have to have a discount, a promotion, while still attracting those consumers. You're being competitive in the space, as well as, making them feel better to convert. So somebody may, feel a little uneasy about converting. So they may see you throughout the whole consumer journey, but then once they get to that conversion point, they may feel a little uneasy about it. But then they say, oh, I can get 3% cash back. Oh, there's a higher percent cash back today. And it makes them feel that much more comfortable to convert. Yes, it is the epitome of last click, bottom of funnel in affiliate marketing, but it does work, and it is pretty effective for your program. You just need to make sure that you're having that strong communication and strong partnership with your publishers to ensure that you're doing it in the most efficient and effective manner, making sure that you're having those conversations as to how you can be incremental, how you can flex it during important times, and making sure for both the publisher and the advertiser. So Amanda, I want to talk to you about, you said that you had great stats in new to file as well as the affiliate channels. I was wondering if you could, expand upon that and how these types of partners were able to help you in that program.
Yeah, so going into launching affiliates, we really have a long-term strategy of building the content network side of it, as well as, like you're saying, rewards and discount side of it. So it's not like an overnight thing, but we've been working with Within for a year, and we're really starting to see the content side of it start to pick up, get in gift guides, get in placements, CNN, BuzzFeed, placements like that. So it takes a little more time than the reward side of the business, but really starting to see that come to life.
That's awesome. And then Josh, really curious, how have you leveraged affiliate for more than just the coupon aspect of it, and leveraged it for more than just, partnering with coupon publishers?
I mean,
they are valuable too.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, a lot of our customers will simply come in through a certain channel and then obviously go to an affiliate site, get our coupon code, and come in. I mean, obviously the implementation in Safari and Chrome, the plugins, Rakuten and Honey, there's not a day that goes by that I don't get reminded about, oh, Honey Gold or, Rakuten. But the problem is that that's not simply just enough. What we are actively doing is building micro-influencer relationships. With, obviously going after the Kim Kardashians of the world, that's awesome, but that's not realistic, so the reality for us is really identifying those people that are really kind of fit the mold. And what we are finding as the seasons change is that we're getting skiers or fishermen or people who really kind of fit the box by which we're, selling in Zimba or SA. And people who can really kind of help us identify the small groups of people that they have as followers and interact with them, engage with them. And that's really where affiliate comes in. It's the classic example of what the 1990s, early 2000s type of marketing, which is referral marketing. There were a number of companies that did this very successfully and were able to achieve huge success. And we're kind of following that similar model with our own flavors to it. And that idea is basically find a niche that we're really good at, teeth whitening strips, and go after a certain type of market. Yeah. If we know where those micro influencers are, we're not looking for people who have, 30 million, 40 million followers. Those are people who are selling their list. Instead, we're looking for the people who have 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, A, it becomes a manageable relationship, and B, let's be blunt, their asking price is a lot lower. And we can actually actively see what they can do very quickly. And by doing those steps, first, we have boots on the ground. Yes, you have people who can help manage this, but they're managing it not necessarily as their singular focus. We leverage within and have leveraged within in the past to really kind of help us figure out how to really get in front of them. But it still takes effort on our side to simply say, okay, this is a good fit. Now take it, let's build our relationship. But the cool thing is that what I like about all this is that it's a pay to play model. They don't get paid until they're playing, right? Which is awesome for us. So it's not like a traditional paid search engine type of thing or paid social where you're fronting all the money. In this case, it's really great. You can say, okay, you know what? We'll happily give you a revenue share, but you got to bring us some business. You bring us 2 customers, that's not going to bring you any business. But sure, I'll give you $6, but you're going to lose it on a long tail because you have to pay, taxes and everything on it. So for me, that's what the opportunity is. Basically, it's a pay to play model. It allows us to go after a certain niche and allows us to really kind of get attraction very quickly.
Love it. Going back to you again, I'm curious, what do you love most about affiliate marketing and what you can kind of do in this channel compared to other channels?
Cost. I don't have to front the money. I love affiliate marketing. It's a great way of driving revenue. For me, my particular view on it from a paid acquisition standpoint, from looking at all the channels, you should be doing anywhere between 8 and 12% of your revenue through affiliate. Now, most people look at it, oh, we're doing 2, we're doing 3, that's amazing, we're awesome. Yeah, that's under valuing the opportunity for that market. And so for me, that's where I really kind of focus. If you can see, it allows you to basically then be able to take your dollars that you would normally spend upfront and be able to play in other channels, be able to do some testing and being able to really kind of see if you can activate that channel further. But the reality is that it's that performance, you get the money up front, usually get 90 days by which you have to pay out the money, which gives you kind of kick the can down the road. Eventually you're going to pay it. Of course you are. But the idea is basically if they are going to really you're going to really kind of run into, do I spend the money up front or do I spend the money after the fact, but I get a better qualified lead after the fact. And I also have the money that I'm sitting on 90 days. Yeah. Wouldn't take that. And that's the way I approach things.
Definitely. Yeah, I know Danny has also spoken. We've talked about that. The pay to play is a big, aspect of it. Courtney, I'm going to pop it back to you to talk about another wonderful affiliate myth.
Yeah, well, this is probably, I know how Josh feels about this as well, that the affiliate channel is on the decline. I think that, there's some discontent with the extension-based publishers like Honey and Retail Me Not that we've talked about. But we do hear, the affiliate channel every once in a while is a dying channel. But I also feel and continue to hear, a lot of very new to market brands coming in and trying to figure out in their maturity that's in that early stage of growth, that the affiliate channel is becoming a more and more important part of their mix for some of the reasons that Josh, you just spoke about in terms of cost, especially when you're sort of building the business from the ground up. But Kate, talk to me a little bit more about the notion of the affiliate business sort of being, a dying channel or on the decline, because we hear it, but we don't really believe it, do we?
No, not at all. But it is definitely something that is more established. It's more kind of, maybe some people's opinion, more stagnant. It's not the exciting new thing. It's been around where there's, like Josh spoke about, and there used to be times where people could make millions in a month in it, and they just, have these crazy programs, and it has become more regulated, more saturated. But it's what's so cool about affiliate is you're incentivized to innovate. So networks and publishers and sub networks and they're constantly thinking of the next best thing. What's the next best way they can to be innovative, to track better, to be able to target better, but most importantly, to be able to make money. And so it's, what's the next best way that they can make money in this channel? So I think that's what's super cool about it. As soon as something is figured out and mastered, there's the next best thing. And so that is now expanded to other channels as well. So that's social networks. They're now tapping into it, like Josh said. There's financial institutions, there's media companies, there's new buy now, pay later programs. So new cart programs, new targeting programs outside of cart to kind of direct you to convert. And those are all housed in affiliate. So definitely a lot of really cool things going on that while affiliate is more established and definitely has been around for a long time, I think that there is a huge growth that is going to happen probably in the next 5 years in this channel. So with all of that, Amanda, I want to hear, from you about what do you think about the channel? How do you think about affiliate marketing and the affiliate channel, especially overall at Corkcicle?
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, we came into it wanting to really go after those content partnerships. So been able to do some partnerships with NBC. We have a Bravo one coming up, BuzzFeed, Meredith, and they take longer, but the Within team has those connections and have been nurturing those relationships to get us those placements. But then I also do see that the give back side of the program has done really, really well. We just launched with Rakuten Ebates and it just scaled quickly. So there are two sides of it, and that's kind of how we look at it.
Definitely. And then you've also had to educate your internal team on the value of affiliate. And, so where does affiliate play an importance, especially across multiple channels, and where do you leverage that? And I guess, and how does that help your overall business?
Yeah, so like you said, it is a last click channel. So it did kind of change our channel mix when we brought it in, taking away from triggered email and text program. So we are looking at a more in-depth attribution model to kind of see a better picture of that. And then, yeah, we had to talk about it internally because we aren't a discount brand. And that was kind of how some people looked at the program as just a discount program. And coming from Nike, who does have affiliates and they run it obviously not in a discount way, I knew there was a right way to do it if you just make the channel mix work together. So really had to just kind of take a step back from the discounts, look at the content, and then just kind of educate people as we saw the channel mix change a little bit.
Very, very cool. And Josh, curious, how do you see affiliate marketing? What's your opinion of it? And especially across these different brands that you've worked with, how does it fall in line, especially across all the other channels?
I mean, look, the affiliate marketing is a channel that if you know how to do it correctly, even if you know how to do it incorrectly, it can be a huge revenue driver, and it can be a very powerful one at that. You get a much more qualified lead. Doesn't really necessarily tie to one specific way or another. Like you can use it for B2B and you can use it for D2C. You can even use it for B2B2C, and you can use it to G, like we could start sitting there with terms and have some fun with it. But the idea is basically it's one of those channels that really can pay its dividends. I think it's been in a lot of cases undervalued over the last, I think, 5 or 6 years because of what's happened with paid social, obviously paid video. Some of those activities have kind of pulled the revenue stream away from affiliate. People have really been embracing this micro influencer concept or the influencer concept, but that is affiliate marketing. They're just calling it something else. And I think that's part of the problem here is that as younger marketers sort of embrace the coolness of the TikToks and some of these other things, they kind of lose sight of some of the traditional means that have generated huge revenue streams. Affiliate is obviously one of those. But it's also not a sexy term, right? Like from a marketing, if you're sitting here on a panel discussion, I tell you about SEO, people are like, what? You see glazing of eyes, and people are like, oh, that's old school. You're really old. And the reality is it's the same thing with affiliate. I think that's where I think people have kind of discounted that technology and that tool as part of the marketing toolbox. And my comment is let them, right? I'll take it. The reality is let me do it. And Danny and Amanda and I will take advantage of other people kind of pushing that aside because the reality is it's a huge revenue driver and it can have major impact on businesses and growth. I look at Karmaloop. Karmaloop in 2010 or 2012 saw a huge growth in their business because of affiliate marketing. They took it to an extreme and they did extremely well with it. When they somewhat abandoned that structure, they saw their revenues decline and their cost of acquisition went up through the roof. And that's really sort of how I view it as a huge opportunity. Karma, once they went back to their basics and back to what worked for them, they were able to stabilize that business and do really well. And that's how I've kind of followed a similar type of approach. And it sounds like Danny and Amanda, we share similar type of thoughts on this, because of the fact is you're able to leverage this tool, you could actually do really well with it.
Definitely, for sure. Danny, did you have something to add? Sorry, I think you were.
I can add. I don't know if time.
Oh, no, sorry, I
permits,
thought you were
but
going to.
yeah, I mean, echoing what both Amanda and Josh said, one thing that I really appreciate about the affiliate channel is it's one I don't have to worry about too much. And I will certainly attribute all of that to the team at Within, because they are on top of it. And as clients know, it's nice that you don't have to worry about something as much. So it didn't start out that way when, we started working with the team about 2.5 years ago, came on, onboarding, audited, and found a number of just really low-hanging fruit and opportunities to go in and improve our overall performance. And we've seen the channel grow, quite significantly over the years, which is fantastic to see, because like I said, we do get that report on new versus returning customers, and we definitely are always over-indexing on the new, which we obviously like to see. So it's a channel that, if set up properly and managed properly, it's kind of a win-win. As both Josh and Amanda said, if it doesn't work, it doesn't cost you any money, and that's fantastic. It's not like paid search, or social. They click on something, you got to pay, but if they didn't buy, you still have to pay. Affiliate, they want to work hard for the business. And as you mentioned earlier, Kate, it definitely is pay to play. And, having an understanding of who your top performing partners are, those are the ones you want to cultivate relationships with and tap into during key parts of the season. Or if you have a product you're long on and you're trying to push, hey, we're going to do this product line and we just want to give a, commission or cash back on these specific product lines, and let the affiliates kind of run with it. Because at the end of the day, they want the stuff to sell too, because that's how they stay in business. So they're not sitting on their laurels either. They're trying to grow. And I'm glad both of you also touched on this whole influencer marketing. It's just kind of reskinning the cat here. Whatever you want to call it that. But at the end of the day, they're clicking on something and someone's getting, credit for that click, and someone's getting paid. So it's just a different way of doing it. But at the end of the day, it still is affiliate marketing.
Definitely. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I wanted to throw you into that because I knew that you had very similar experiences as Amanda and Josh, especially in, taking those best practices, or saying, this product is doing really well, or this launch is doing really well, let's flex it in affiliate, or it's not doing well in these other channels, let's flex it in affiliate. And, really, you can really drill down to SKU level, you can drill down to product launches, sales, etc., time frame, and pull those levers so that you can have it perform an affiliate in that performance channel. And then also across, I love that you bring up the influencer piece, Josh, because definitely is a huge piece, and we can continue that messaging and complement that for influencers, as well as for ambassadors and micro influencers, having them be able to have that CPA model instead of paying them up front is definitely a capability. Make them work for it, right? So very cool. Thanks, guys.
So, hey, Kate, I got a couple of questions for you. We were just talking about, how are you making sure, Danny was talking about making sure that you're running an effective affiliate program. So an affiliate program run well is great. And even Josh said an affiliate program not so run well is also can be great. But we've got a lot of brands on the phone with us today. How should they go about thinking about either mini audits or ways to sort of think about where they can go to find some of that low hanging fruit in their affiliate programs as they enter Q4 and beyond? Like, what are your thoughts? What's the secret sauce here?
Definitely. And it definitely fluctuates between, what type of brand you are, what your KPIs are at the time. But overall, step one, how well are you managing your publishers and partners and those programs? And so how frequently are you communicating with them, sending them updates, making sure, sending them updated creative to make sure that the brand is being represented well and that communication is happening to ensure proper messaging, proper imaging, etc., to keep your brand value there. And then do you have a good understanding of how each publisher is driving sales? Again, goes back to the incrementality piece, making sure you know what type of publisher is in the program and what they're able to do for your program. And if you don't, diving into that and pulling those incrementality levers to make sure that your partnership is strong and that you're able to push that when you need to. Step 2, how well are your publishers and partners doing? So how well are your current partners meeting your business goals? Depending on what those goals are, right? Are they LTV? Are they new to file? Is it revenue? And so being able to pull those levers, being able to pull that messaging with certain publishers, depending on what your business goals are. How frequently are you bringing new publishers and partners into the program? This is a standard, should always be happening. We are always doing publisher recruitment, always researching what's the new next best thing, but really continuing to do that publisher recruitment and outreach so that you continue to diversify and grow your program while then obviously monitoring their incrementality and their value. And along those same lines, with knowing which publishers are good and not good to bring into the program, are you aware of any fraudulent activity across publishers? So really knowing the expertise in the channel and knowing which publishers are going to potentially be fraudulent, but then also monitoring that and making sure that you know where those sales are coming from and that they're not fraudulent. Yeah, does anyone want to jump in here with any other additives, or how does that sound across your current programs?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I probably would encourage people, because, Courtney, you had mentioned specifically about low-hanging fruit here, is, this is where tools like the Low as a business intelligence tool really kind of help in a sense, because what you can do very quickly is see who the customers are that are coming in through a different means, like direct or SEO or paid activities, and are using affiliate, and they usually can see affiliate pretty quickly, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe even a minute, because they're searching for a coupon site. You can label those customers, and you can incentivize them using different discounts, so you're not necessarily doubling on your discounts. Shopify with Shopify Plus and other tools out there have the idea of flows, where you can actually identify first click, last click. Most people look at only their last click attribution, especially young marketers who really don't necessarily know the difference, especially from the sources of information. So Google Analytics is last click attribution, but there's all those tools out there, especially the paid acquisition vehicles or things like SMS and email that are first click and second click or last click. So what you wind up having to do very quickly is just by understanding where everybody's associating with, you can also start steering. You can auto label and you can start steering. And that's a huge component here that I don't think most people recognize, is that they, especially when I'm dealing with my younger teams, is that they sort of like just make assumptions. Oh, they came in through affiliate, so that's just how they are. And I'm like, no, they probably came in through email or SMS or something like that, and we're cleaning up by affiliate. Or the flip side, they'll come in through affiliate, abandon because they didn't get a great discount code, and then they hunt around, and then they come and get reattracted by some sort of an SMS or triggered email. And that's a great way of seeing it. So one of the big pieces of this is just understanding the analytics, and then tie the analytics to your tagging of that customer. So we're talking actively now as we look at this business of how do we basically start to automate our steps, and you can use affiliate for that, especially with influencers. One of the big things I've noticed very quickly, and I'm not sure Danny or Amanda, you've noticed this as well, is people tend to go off the same group of people, right? They tend to be creatures of habit. They come in through an influencer, they stay going through that influencer. They go through email, they continue to go through email. They go through Facebook, they continue to go through Facebook. The idea is basically labeling that customer and then saying, look, don't send them an email blast because they're not going to care. If there's an influencer at bay, push it to the influencer and say, hey, it worked. I'll raise your revenue if you can get me 2 more orders from this type of customer, right? And do it based on an incentivized plan. It's by doing that and following that technique, it's an incredibly good way of creating value and reducing your overall cost. Because if you tie to multiple orders, it's not necessarily saying it's a one-off basis. A lot of people can get you one order. Can they get you 4? Can they get you 6? Can they help you get a subscription built into that? And what we do is we pay up for those. Now people are like, well, is that simply, why can't you do that on the paid side, on the paid activities? And I'm like, you certainly can try, but it's difficult because then you're essentially paying for it and you're giving them a discount code. So instead, why don't you try to use an influencer who's talking to them, they're engaging with them, they're actively they want to obviously push the business over, and you just encourage them and you say, look, if you're a second-time customer coming through this channel, I'll pay up for it. Third-time customer, even more. Fourth time, and you kind of ratchet it up. So you don't reward them for a first-time customer, you're really rewarding them for a fourth-time customer. And like Amazon does, they've kind of figured out that if they can get people to buy more than 4 times in a year, they can get them on Prime, and then it becomes advantageous for them because the average number of orders for a non-Prime customer is 2 per year. The average number of orders for a Prime customer is 26. It's incredible, right? And you can essentially control that customer and you can build a business off of those customers. And that's the idea. If you can pay your influencers to ratchet up and say, look, I'll give you 5% on the first order, but 6% on the second order, 7% on the 8th order, 10% on the 5th order, and work your way up. Of course, what are they going to do? They're going to want to get everybody to be there on the 5th order. And who wins? You do. And that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. That's such a key thing to bring up, because as affiliate is taking it to the next level, networks like Impact, for example, we have the opportunity to push that, where we can say, this click or this channel and see them through the path to purchase and say, we'll give a commission here, we won't duplicate it. And so it doesn't have to necessarily go to the bottom of the funnel. It's where your KPIs land and what's most valuable for the brand is where we'll attribute those sales. So there's definitely a lot of really cool levers that we can pull.
Great. Well, moving on, Q4, if it isn't already, it will be a roller coaster ride for all of us this year, I think, as we're thinking through all of the different sort of headwinds and tailwinds associated with the holiday season. What does Q4 mean for your business? We'll throw it around to the brands here. And what are some of the strategies that you were hoping will move the needle or innovate across your portfolio, going into, in the middle of Q4 this year? I'm going to flip it to Danny.
How important is Q4? Q4 is quite important for us. It's kind of the business for Hickory Farms. So we put most of our eggs in the Q4 basket. And affiliate plays an important role. It's a big driver of traffic for us. And, kind of what we do is, a couple times during the year and certainly before Q4, the team will do an audit and make sure we've got commissions set up properly for what we're achieving from each of the different partners. That's an easy recommendation I can give to anyone who's listening here today. Really just go in and do an audit. I know when we switched to Within, we rejiggered all of our commissions and it saved us a lot of money and also improved performance tremendously. So again, that's a win-win. As we look for our Q4 strategy, just sticking to the affiliate component here, we do paid placements. And so we do partner with some of the bigger affiliate partners out there. And one thing I would just strongly recommend is get ahead of this, reach out early. It's kind of never too early because these placements get gobbled up quite quickly. And, everyone wants Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the big days out there. Look at your internal data and see if there's a day that maybe is better than that for you. That's, might be an off day for other companies. So it's a big traffic driver for us. And it helps us also with awareness as well, because not everyone that goes to a Retail Me Not or an eBay or Rakuten now is going to be a loyal customer from the start. And so if you're there and you're present, it's just another way to get that awareness out there. Through a promotion or not through a promotion, we'll be present there on all your typical big holidays with promotions, and we'll be there with cashback when it's not a big promotional time period. So all those different components really help our overall strategy. One thing I did want to mention though, Josh, I think this dovetails into what you were talking about. one thing that we found a couple of years ago that's pretty valuable is, Google Analytics, a lot of the reporting platforms out there, analytics platforms, it's all last touch. And that's good. Like if you've got it as historical data, whatever, you've got a baseline at least to work off of. It's really interesting if you go in and look at what the first touch was. And you can see what role some of these partners may or may not play. And this does go to any channel, but also to affiliate. And so that's another way to look at, are people going and starting the journey there? If they're starting the journey there, but maybe they're not finishing, that's really important to understand, because you can adjust your plan accordingly to, again, to be present in the important spots. And maybe you're willing to pay a little bit more in certain channels because you want that first touch, because ultimately you know that your other channels, and you have a good kind of marketing machine that will hopefully help convert them.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Denny.
It's such a good point to bring up. And it's also so important, especially during the high shopping season, that, Hickory will be out there and be competitive. So when people are looking for gifting, they're buying those gift baskets. Everybody go shop. Amanda, Amanda, I'm going to pass it to you. I know that Corkcicle is definitely on top of it, and with launch, products and different campaigns running, and definitely with the season coming up, I know that the affiliate team has been on top of it with really having that plan. And watching that, it's been really cool to watch, having the team be very transparent upon expectations, what works, what doesn't work, where we can pivot, especially with the market, with shipping, who knows what's going on with that, and really being transparent with the team that's managing your affiliate program, as well as being transparent with your customers. So I'm going to pivot to you in terms of, any tips for Q4 and what you guys are doing at Corkcicle.
Yeah, so Corkcicle is a very heavy gifting brand as well. So, we could be a gift for anyone. So it's an important season for us too. And the Within team really, really pushed us to secure placements early, which I'm glad, because those are being taken up, like Danny said. So we secured all our placements in September, I think. We got all those. So excited that we have all that ready to go. And then we have an extensive launch calendar actually this year, just with global logistics. We're getting some product a little later than we thought we would. So we have launches that'll be going on. We have promotions that'll be going on. We'll have, free shipping days, and then also just communicating shipping cutoffs early too with the consumers to make sure we're not disappointing anyone during the gifting time. But I would say just working with whoever's managing our affiliate program to get those placements early has been a big win for us this year.
Definitely. And then, with Corkcicle being a very, popular gifting item, and something I think that people definitely go after, and they're excited to purchase for other people and for themselves. I think there's probably like 2-for-1s going on there, a little for you, a little for me. But any recommendations you have just in terms of, staying relevant with offers, during this, what your call to actions are and things like that, especially with launches, changing with, shipping issues as well. I think that everyone is going to be suffering this year. I think that's pretty relevant in the news lately. But then also, just in terms of general offers and call to actions, any recommendations you have there?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting not October, but early November. We're going to start messaging by early to get it early to make sure that we have enough inventory. So we're going to do that kind of messaging, and then definitely changing up offers throughout the season to be off of different collections. So best gifts, doing different promotions there. And then, of course, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we'll have our biggest deal of the year and push that on the affiliate channel as well.
Awesome. Thanks. And Josh, I'm going to pass it to you to see if you have any added comments as well.
I mean, obviously, just like Amanda and Danny, saying you're going to ignore the fourth quarter is basically a death sentence for most businesses. And we're not any exception to that. So, for Zimba, we're starting the process. I mean, we've seen Best Buy and Target go early. I'm sure Amazon's got some designs on doing something too. And the reality is we're not immune to that. So we are actively starting our processes. We're revamping some of our marketing activities to get more time with our most valued customer. We're not necessarily going to share the playbook because, well, We can't. It's a good way of, but the ideas for me is basically, look, we're following the same trends as I'm sure Danny and Amanda are starting to put together. The reality is that the news has come out that says with all these supply chain issues and all of the different solutions that are, or different situations that are occurring, that people are going to start their holiday shopping early. I mean, I'm already receiving Christmas tree ads. And the reality is, I think, the reality, as all of us are kind of addressing that, means that we're moving forward early or earlier. And so the reality is simple. We're starting to activate using our normal channels. We're pushing on the affiliate channel mostly because that's where we can start to see impact. And we can start to see where our engagement with our influencers are starting to pay rewards, because it also allows us just to do reporting and more activations across that. And then we can further enable our influencers with the data that we have. And so, that's that channel. There's also other things we're putting out there that are, around more experiential marketing, more engaged marketing, video marketing, with the TikToks of the world and YouTubes. Just really kind of trying to encourage our customer to engage with us and engage as the first purchase place. We're not necessarily going to say we're going to compete head on with Amazon and win. I've done that before. It has a mixed bag. But the reality is, I think it's one of those things where, you can take a card from their playbook and simply just, use that as a means to kind of start to drive forward.
Definitely. So I think, we've touched a little bit on the importance of the shipping guarantees, and being soft and being able to pivot, depending on the issues that arise with that. I think, we also talked a little bit about buy now, pay later, and those opportunities for somebody that's, a little bit concerned about those opportunities. You can have it in cart, you can have it on the buy now, pay later publishers app. So that's definitely a new to market publisher that I think is pretty cool and pretty relevant. But on top of that, with all of these changes, I feel like consumers have become more savvy online while wanting to be in person. I still think they've become much more comfortable shopping on their computers, on desktop, but most importantly on their mobile devices as well. I think just with the transition of how everybody's moving so quickly while still being conservative, I think that's definitely a big play. So Josh, I'm curious as to your recommendations in the mobile piece, and how you see shoppers utilizing the Q4 shopping there, and any tips you have to really make sure that you're mobile optimized.
Well, the reality is our customer is heavily mobile. I would say more than, it's like 92-93% of our customers are mobile. And so, we have to be mobile optimized. I think, the reality is it comes down to a couple of years ago, I think mobile passed desktop usage and hasn't looked back. And frankly, if you're not mobile optimized today, you're kind of in trouble. So, you kind of have to embrace it. For us, it's also, like you brought up a couple of different points, right? You brought up buy now, pay later. This is a topic of interest for me because I've had the opportunity to play with a number of different players over the years, and that concept of sort of the layaway, what Kmart and other stores, the traditional retailers kind of put in is now buy now, pay later. It's just to the masses. And combination between buy now, pay later and mobile, it's an interesting combo. And so for me, that's where you have to be more nimble. And you have to go to where the customers are, not let the customers come to you. So we're embracing buy now, pay later, as a multiple heads with that. We have a traditional one with Klarna, we have others with Split It. And so the idea is giving that customer that ability to choose what their favorite solution is, but also giving it to them on a device that they like, which is mobile, enabling those mobile capabilities. We're doing mobile web. We're not necessarily doing mobile app yet, certainly not for this holiday season. But the idea for me is how do you then be able to go to what your customer is most comfortable with, and how do you embrace that? And that's basically just, sort of understanding the market dynamics and having a little bit of having a little bit of willingness to go go farther with it. But it's also how do you then analyze your customer and how do you make sure that what you're giving to them is what they're looking for? And that's a big part of this too. For me, making sure that you reach out to your customer in the preferred methods with the preferred tech tools, with the preferred payment options, and making a really quick process is going to give you, going to pay off dividends. And that for me is what I'm really going after. Understanding your customer has been, of course, it's been around for thousands of years. The technology's changed, but at the end of the day, it's certainly, our collective jobs is to really be able to identify what the shopping patterns, what they're looking for, how they're engaged, how we can get them to the checkout, and how we do it more or a bigger cart size and more often. And that's certainly the challenge that we're all faced these days.
No, exactly. I totally agree. And I really appreciate all of your feedback here. We only have a few minutes left, so I want to move to the poll questions as well as open it up for some quick Q&A if we have it. So how big a role does affiliate marketing play in your Q4 strategy? It looks like major was a big one, so that's pretty great. So definitely a relevant topic. Which of the following arguments have you heard about affiliate marketing? It looks like is an incremental and is all coupon. So pretty common and standard to what we constantly hear as well. And then how much of your current revenue can you attribute to your affiliate program? So it looks like we have some audience members that definitely have some strong and growing programs, as well as some new to market programs as well. So definitely a variety mix, which is makes it pretty fun. But is there any Q&A questions out there that you guys want to open it up to? Feel free to add in the chat, and we will put our awesome panelists on the spot.
All right, we'll give that a second. I'm not sure we're going to have any takers today. That's one of the benefits you get, though, from being here live and in person. So I just want to thank the panelists for coming here today. I think you've got a variety of amazing brands to go out and shop this holiday season. I will give you my shameless Corkcicle plug. I like my coffee hot. And so I'll give you, Kate knows what to get me for this holiday season. Our team is having an awful lot of fun branding them and sending them to each other with all sorts of funny things at the moment. But thank you all. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Josh, for sharing some of your insights in the affiliate channel, helping us sort of demystify and debunk some of the things about the channel. We're really excited about it. I, of course, oversee it with Kate's leadership here. I also run our influencer program and our life cycle program, and all of them, underneath the guise of within sort of sharing the data and understanding how your customers, to Josh's point, it's know your customer is one of the age-old sort of, pillars of retail and marketing. And the more that you can share data across channels and the more that you can understand how they're behaving, the stronger you have in your ability to build your programs and your growth. So I'm going to thank everyone today and just close it out and wish you all great success in Q4. Take care.